Good morning, Em. This is Moneypenny, ready for your daily preparation call. I hope you're doing well today.
I am. All right, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to think about pitching a big client this week, and I'm going to spend time with my family. Can you take all that and write just a follow-up email for me, please?
Certainly, Em. I'll prepare a brief email recapping your plans for the day. Just to confirm, your key priorities are 1. Going to the beach. 2. Preparing to pitch a big client this week. 3. Spending quality time with your family. Is there anything else you'd like me to include in the email?
No, I think that's good. Just send it, please.
Absolutely, Em. I will send that email recap right away. Remember, I'm here to support you every step of the way. I hope you have a wonderful day at the beach with your family, and I'm confident your preparations for the big client pitch will pay off. If there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, so for this tutorial, we are going to learn how to hire AI to become your morning and evening check-in coach. And I first heard about this from someone who knew of Marshall Goldsmith, who's this famous leadership coach. You may or may not have heard of him, but he's been at it for a long time and has some great content, and highly recommend checking it out. Apparently has an AI as well. marshallgoldsmith.ai is the website that Google now points to. So that's kind of interesting. But what was relayed to me about one of his best practices is that, he hired somebody to call him in the morning to help him get clear on his priorities in the context of what was important to him, what was coming up, all that kind of stuff. And then in the evening, reflect upon those things and sort of, make sense of what he did do and look at that versus his goals and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you can do this yourself, like pen and paper or whatever, but there's something really nice about having somebody who has that context to just call you up and run through the process. I've similarly hired a VA to help walk through like kind of a script that I use on a weekly basis to help me prepare what I'm going to do in the context of my goals and everything else. Anyway, having that voice-based interface, especially when you're getting an incoming call and it's sort of time, you can just let somebody else be in the driver's seat and then have them prompt you, so to speak, is a nice user experience. I would say, versus traditional point and click software that could try to recreate the same process. Most, maybe all of us can't really afford, a VA to do that like every day. And maybe there's really sensitive stuff that you want to talk about that you wouldn't want a VA to know about or something like that. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to use a bunch of different tools to actually recreate basically this whole process. And so what ends up happening is you'll have an AI assistant who called you in the morning, runs through it, and then can call you in the evening as well, do that. And then you'll actually get a follow-up email that's a summary of everything that you talked about in preparing and reflecting. So after you do it, you immediately get sort of like takeaways and can kind of run through. And then in the evening, you can do the same thing. Okay, so you have the call and then you get the follow-up email. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to use a tool called VAPI as the primary. It's awesome. I love VAPI. I think the voice medium or voice modality for AI is a really big deal, and people are still kind of sleeping on it, but we're going to use that as a primary platform to build it out. We're going to send the data to Make and then to Gmail to send the follow-up email. We're going to create, this will be fun. You can create your own voice. Of course, if you have a voice in mind that you like, we'll show you how to make that. We're going to use Moneypenny from James Bond. So if you were M and you were running, by 6, I guess, then, you can have your Moneypenny voice agent call you up. And then we're going to use a Replit schedule job, which is kind of like a cron job that can run at a particular time just to kick off the process of the VAPI agent calling you. And we'll use Claude and one of my favorite tools, Super Whisper, just to make this whole process a lot faster. All right, so let's see how quickly we can go here. So let's go ahead and set this up. So this is VAPI, and the first thing we're going to do is already create an account. We're going to create an assistant. We'll just do the blank template. That's fine. Create an assistant. And you have a bunch of different options here. So model, transcriber, voice. The only thing that we're really going to change is we're going to change the provider to Anthropic. And then Claude 3 Opus. And then the first message be like, morning, M. Let's prepare for your day, right? And then we'll populate the system prompt, so don't worry about that. Wait yet. And then we're going to go to, we'll call this Moneypenny. Okay. And then transcriber, don't worry about that. Voice, 11 labs. We're going to create a custom voice for that. Functions, we are going to create a tool And do this over here, actually. Yeah, like there we go. So we'll set that up later. But yeah, we're gonna create a tool that sends the email basically, and all the rest of the stuff. Don't worry about it, but these are all things you can do. Okay, but the point is you want Claude 3 Opus because that has tool capabilities would allow the system to make calls to a server that you're going to send the email and things like that. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go to Claude. I'm going to say, I want you to write a very specific set of instructions for somebody who's going to do like the morning daily preparation call as prescribed by Marshall Goldsmith. So he's talked about how he has an assistant call him in the morning to do that stuff. I want you to write a really comprehensive, specific sort of like set of instructions, maybe script and guidelines for an assistant who would be placing this call. And actually the assistant's name is Moneypenny. So you'd want to say like to start, you are Moneypenny and your boss is M, who runs MI6, and here are your instructions basically. So I'm not totally familiar with Marshall's approach. And so I like having, I assume it's in Claude's memory. Try that here with Super Whisper. So I'm using Super Whisper, right? And then let's put that in, see what it comes up with. Right, and so I guess I assume that's according to his guidelines. Okay, so I'm gonna put that over into here, the system prompt. And we can get rid of the document. Okay, and I'll say, be relatively concise and ask only one question at a time because you're communicating via voice. And then also, once you have all the information you need and before the call ends, please ask if M would like to get an email recap, and then send that email recap if there's like verbal confirmation. Either he asks for it or you ask and he confirms. And we'll create the function call to create the email. So that's all good, right? So we're going to publish this. We're going to use the off-the-shelf voice to test it out.
Morning, Em. Let's prepare for your day.
Sure, let's get going.
Good morning, Em. This is Moneypenny, ready for your daily preparation call. First, I want to remind you of your commitment to this process and its importance for your growth.
So we'll test it again later, but you sort of get the idea. So that's starting to work. All right, so that's good. So if you go back to the figure board, that's preliminarily set up. Get Moneypenny's voice. Just search for Miss Moneypenny. Here. Still called 4K video downloader. There are other ways you can get raw YouTube videos and other like content online. There's like YouTube DL package that you can run in your command line and things like that, but this is an easy one. And so if I use this quite a bit if I'm doing research or like I want to download a bunch of long form videos and you can't get the transcripts anywhere else. You can do it this way and then run Whisper locally on the files to transcribe them, or you can pop them into Descript, which is what we're going to do in just a second. Okay. And so while that's happening, let's go ahead actually and define the tool. So that's published. We're going to do the email writing tool. All right, we're going to create a new tool. It's going to be make.com scenario. So make is like a little kind of automation thing where it's like Zapier basically, but it's cheaper. And I'm not really sure what the other differences are, but so we're gonna create a new scenario, okay? We're gonna search for webhook, custom webhook, create a webhook. Yeah. Moneypenny. And basically what this is like, it's a machine that's listening for events. I think post requests technically. And so that, when the VAPI voice assistant gets triggered to send the email, then it'll do that just in the context of the conversation. It'll call this tool, which then triggers this set of logic server side, basically. So, okay. Fine. So it's on. So we're going to copy this address because you need to put that here. We'll do make there server URL. So that's server URL. Go next. Name, and I'm copying this from different one that I built previously. And we're just going to call this follow up. Crafting a follow up. Then in terms of the property name, dude, email body, I think it's just a it's a string. And we'll set to body of follow-up email to M with key takeaways from the prep session and any concrete actions should take once you've reached the end of the call, right? So what that means is like that's one parameter that gets sent in this message to the make server, and it's going to be listening for that. And then it'll just pull that data, which is created by AI as a course of the conversation. Like it writes up a follow-up email. It'll pop that into an email and then send it. So we're going to create that. All right. So that's all set up. And the way it hooks into make is you have the server URL, but you could set up a server in AWS. You could set it up and do like a Lambda function. You could do, Google Cloud functions. You could have something self-hosted on your own machine, right? And that doesn't matter. You just need the URL. All right. What are we doing next? So we have that. And we have the make scenario. So we're actually going to go ahead and add another module. And that's going to be Gmail. Okay. So, and we're going to put my own email just to show you. But you could actually pull this data from the request too if you want to build something more general purpose. I'm just going to have it hard coded. And I'm going to say summary of our call and then the content. So basically you need to pull this from the JSON string that gets pulled over. I'm just going to copy and paste this over, doing a little bit of hand waving, but essentially like the JSON that gets sent from the VAPI voice assistant will have a schema where, and this follows like the tool parameters, where it'll end up basically looking like that. So I'm just going to hit OK. So trust me on it. And I guess add comments or ping me if you have specific questions. But like, you just need to get the JSON structure of what it sends. That's in the VAPI documentation. You can pipe that through Claude or whatever and get it. That's essentially how that works. All right. This video should have been downloaded at this point. Great. I'm going to pop this into Descript. Okay. Descript is going to analyze it, and it should be basically what we're going to do here is we're going to get some raw material that we can pop into 11 Labs to create the voice clone. And yes, this is copyrighted material, and no, I don't have any plans to put this like in production or give anybody access. So it's, it's for like educational purposes, but I don't know. You probably shouldn't clone other people's voices, you know. Whoops. Do your own. Maybe. Okay. So I'm going to, how do I turn this thing on? Okay. We're going to turn it on. Hopefully this works. We will find out. All right. This is the one I'm basing it on. Or actually, I confirmed that it worked. So we will see shortly. Wait here. Gonna take a second. All right. So we have the pieces and parts we're bringing together. We're going to get the voice in there. We've got this thing set up with instructions. And of course, like I'm kind of skipping over it, but you can make the prompts or the instructions better. And really the way you do that is practice. So you do this a few times and yeah, you just get better and better at it, basically. While that's happening, I might as well go and set up a phone number. All right, so I should be able to add a phone number. So let's do like a trio of them and it costs $2 a month. Call it Moneypenny. And you can select inbound. If you call this number, you will be able to get in touch with the assistant via your phone, which I'll show you in a second. All right, let's identify the speakers in the Moneypenny.
Well, sit he's there, will you? James, where on earth have you been?
I feel very tempted to test that theory right now. If you don't.
For my next miracle,
Morning, 007.
Good morning, Tanner.
They'll see you now.
Never mind.
The other courtyard.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to export this. And I'm going to go audio, current selection. Okay. And one. Great. We're going to do audio. It's not super efficient, but we'll just choose a few of these. Probably more efficient ways to do this. But 3. So you can actually just delete everything. It's not Moneypenny. Anyway, this hopefully is enough. 4. You get the idea about the more that you create, the higher quality the clone is going to be. So we're going to create a clone by going to instant voice cloning, public Moneypenny. We're going to choose these 4. It may actually not be enough data, but we'll see. Usually you want like quite a few minutes worth. Let's see how it does. Hello, Mr. Bond. Are you ready for your morning preparation?
Hello, Mr. Bond. Are you ready for your morning preparation?
That's actually not bad. All right, so we're going to go back to VAPI and we're going to go to the voice library. And I have my API key plugged in here so it has access to my private voices. Sync up, sync up. All right, and we're going to go to voice. We're going to choose Moneypenny.
Morning, Em. Let's prepare for your day.
All right, I'm ready.
Good morning, Em. This is Moneypenny, ready for your daily preparation call. I hope you're doing well today.
I am. All right, so what I want to
Before
do
we
today
begin, I'd
is
like to-
I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to think about pitching a big client this week, and I'm going to spend time with my family. Can you take all that and write just a follow-up email for me, please?
Certainly, Em. I'll prepare a brief email recapping your plans for the day. Just to confirm, your key priorities are 1. Going to the beach. 2. Preparing to pitch a big client this week. 3. Spending quality time with your family. Is there anything else you'd like me to include in the email?
No, I think that's good. Just send it, please.
Absolutely, Em. I will send that email recap right away. Remember, I'm here to support you every step of the way. I hope you have a wonderful day at the beach with your family, and I'm confident your preparations for the big client pitch will pay off. If there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, we'll end that. All right, so I realized I actually didn't add the tool first. So I just added the tool. I'm actually going to pause, do it again so you can see what the email looks like. But you do need to add the tool when you've defined it so that Moneypenny can send the email. All right, so she had confirmed during the email, or during the call, she sent the email. And here it is. Now I got to figure out how to format this properly. Some more tweaks and stuff you can make. But it worked. So sent the email. And it was, as we talked about, all these different things. And it's, it's nice. Anyway, you get the point, but it's like we had the call, she sent the follow-up email. So that's all working. So we've got the voice thing, we got VAPI, we've got it behind a phone number. So I'll show you, you can call it, but what's even better is it calls you, okay? And it's got the follow-up email functionality ready. So now what we need to do is we need to set up a Replit job, schedule job. Where is it? We're gonna go to Replit. Replit's like, I like to call it like Google Doc for, it's like Google Doc for code. Okay. VAPI docs. I'm gonna show you how with Claude we can just basically, actually, I'm going to kind of skip over this because I've done this already elsewhere, but you can just copy and paste the VAPI docs into Claude, tell it, hey, like I need help coming up with the script to do this. And then, a few sets of back and forth for them to be able to, voila. All right, and basically what I did here was I copied and pasted some of that code. Very quickly, what this does is it calls the VAPI API, passes my key, which you can get from the settings. And then it includes the number, which this is my personal number, which I'm not going to reveal. And then you got to copy and paste the IDs for the assistant and the phone number. Excuse me. And then this will just call the number, my number, from that number using the assistant that we had already set up, so Moneypenny. So I'm going to show you how this works in just a second. All right, so I got my phone here, and now I'm going to hit enter on this. Watch this. Hit run. Ah, what do you know? Moneypenny is calling me.
Morning, Em. Let's prepare for your day.
Yeah, let's get going.
What are your key priorities for today, Em?
Just to look after my family. It's my first Father's Day, actually. So, yeah, after I record this, then quality time with them.
That's wonderful, Em. Family time is so important, especially on a special day like Father's Day. How do you plan to spend quality time with them today?
That's it. Can you just send me a follow-up email?
Absolutely, Em. I'll send you a follow-up email summarizing our discussion and your plans for the day. Enjoy your first Father's Day and the precious time with your family. Remember, I'm always here if you need any support. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, and you can do some settings so it automatically hangs up and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to skip over that, but you get the point. Now, the key here is so I have to manually run this, right? Let's say that you want to have this run every morning, and then you could do a variation. We're not going to cover this, but if you want to change like the prompts so that when it's an evening call, maybe it can do a function call to figure out what is the time right now, and then based on the time to run an evening script or something like that. You can have it do the same agent can do that, right? And the way that you do it so you don't have to make the call, so that they will call you accordingly is scheduled. Set up your deployment. Or say every weekday at 8 a.m. and it'll automatically turn this into a cron expression. I'm on Eastern time. And if I hit deploy, then it'll just call me every day at 8 a.m. and you can do another one that calls you at 5 p.m. or whatever it is. And that's it. You hit deploy and literally like congratulations, you've hired an assistant. I think we've been doing this for like 32 minutes. Let's say, you've got to, futz around with some of the settings on the prompt and, whatever else. But if you just basically follow exactly the instructions I did just now and copy and paste this code over, you will have hired one of these, assistant, Moneypenny, essentially, to help keep you on track on a daily basis. So there you go. You just hired AI to call you every weekday to help you prepare for your day. And you can do some more setup, sort of leave that exercise up to the viewer to do the evening one, to, add additional tools and everything else. But that's pretty much everything you need. So I hope that helps and enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions and send me a message anytime on LinkedIn.